Today on Live Life Forward, we will explore the state of America's homelessness and how one organization's effort is making a huge impact on its local homeless population.
My name?
Yeah.
I'm Tony the Panhandler. Don't mess with me.
Tony the Panhandler.
I'm from Mars. I came down here to lead the less fortunate to a better place.
Then, from fame to legend, how one World Series champ is helping to guide the next generation on a path to compassion through empathy and action.
If I disappear tomorrow, I believe that this will carry impact and will have impact, and that is legacy.
Life on the streets. It's hard, lonely, dangerous, and depending on the geographic location, you might find yourself in the midst of Mother Nature's unforgiving potencies.
Life in the streets, baby.
But yet, it is here, the streets, abandoned homes and cars that over 500,000 Americans call home. I came to Spokane, Washington, a town located only 20 miles away from the Washington-Idaho border and home to a little over 200,000 inhabitants. Almost 1,000 people here do not have a roof over their head, and they are the people Mike and Jessica Kovac from Blessings Under the Bridge are here to serve. Gourmet food, that is.
You've got different weather here. How do people that are homeless deal with the weather? The cold, the wet. How do they deal with it here?
You know, we get to go back to our warm cars and back to our warm houses and stuff like that. These folks, you see them laying out their cardboard, you know, and bundling up with as many blankets as they can, and as many as we can provide for
losing
them.
their fingers and toes, or they're purple and black, and the next time we see them, they've already lost them. They're bandaged up.
The story of helping others to help yourself is one that really resonates with me, and seems to be the theme and motivation behind most charitable organizations. Mike and Jessica would not be married today if it wasn't for the idea to help the homeless.
You guys started off, as you said, as childhood sweethearts. You spent many years together. You got married, and then something went wrong. And can you tell me a little bit about that?
He dealt with alcoholism and, you know, had many affairs in our marriage because he didn't feel the love from his mom. And it just became a circle in our marriage. Like, the trust was broken, then I pulled back, and then he'd be sorry, and then I abandoned him, and so it just go over and over and over, or till eventually where he ended up in the ICU twice for suicide because he couldn't live with the guilt. And so really, 10 years ago was really when my heart really softened, and when I learned what compassion was, it was literally God said, don't look at the man that hurt you, but look at the little boy that had been hurt.
Feeling a sense of hope inside, Jessica was now ready to open her heart and pass the hope forward. Using a portion of her earnings, she took to the streets and distributed brown bags filled with food to the homeless.
I really was kind of against it. I didn't understand what she was doing, but then again, I'd see her come home and blog about this stuff, and then she would just always had a smile on her face. And I was so intrigued that I wanted to go out. But
she's actually gone out to meet homeless people, and actually coming out with a smile on her face. Right?
I didn't want to admit it, but I wanted to know what it was all about. I was really curious.
And when you go out of your comfort zone, good things tend to happen. Mike met Homer, a homeless man he instantly built a connection with. It was a father and son kind of bond.
He was just the nicest gentleman in the world, and we just hit it off right off the bat. I just never thought that I'd ever be talking to a homeless person.
And so the circle closed, and Mike and Jessica became a team. But really they became more. Husband and wife, with renewed love and passion.
A lot of people think that it's about the homeless. It's really about us. People say, oh, what's your program? How do you fix these people? Well, you know what? They actually fix us. They've changed our lives.
Time now for Allstate's They Say.
Hey, this is Ricardo. They say I'm too young to have a story. I say our stories matter. I say our stories matter. At Trailblazers, we share our stories through a devised play. My sister, Kimberly, started in Trailblazers. I saw how happy Trailblazers made her. Trailblazers is a safe space, and I'm able to talk about things I can't talk at home or school and share it with my Trailblazers ensemble. I've learned that even though we're young, we have something important to say. I became a senior Trailblazers because it's important to be a leader so that you can empower others.
So we're gonna do Starbucks. We're gonna pick up the pastries that we get donated every week from them. You know, I want them to have something really, really nice. So like tonight, they're getting a sun-dried tomato Parmesan roasted garlic stuffed chicken breast with lemon cream sauce, garlic mashed potatoes, steamed broccoli, garlic bread. I'm already hungry.
A block party for some 400 of Spokane's homeless. A place to meet, mingle, eat great food, and maybe most importantly, a place where you can be heard, where dozens of volunteers take time on Wednesdays to give back and to hear their stories.
When we have people that sponsor a weekly event like tonight's Numerica, they'll bring 30 of their employees. Now we have almost 70 volunteers every Wednesday.
That's awesome.
It's craziness, and we're booked till like July.
You know, you can go out with a group or whatever like that and do your thing with your church, and it looks great. But when you do it on your own, from your own heart, genuinely, I think it makes all the difference in the world.
It's a jam-packed day, as every Wednesday is. And it's also a race against the clock to collect food, treats, ingredients, and everything else to fill the stomachs of hundreds of hungry men, women, and children.
We're excited, actually. This is quite a bit. They gave us, well, this is new, banana compote that we can, they can put in oatmeal. So we have oatmeal packs. So we'll give them those. And then these are all their fresh pastries.
Of the roughly $400 billion given to charities in the U.S. each year, corporations make up a mere 5% of the giving. There is room for improvement, let there be no doubt. After all, it is the corporations who can make the biggest of differences.
Because I know they're going to love the ice cream, and I didn't want to run out. So chocolate and vanilla, yep. And then we do need, thank you for reminding me, can you go get the 5-pound bag of ice?
It seems like a little, but it's going to go a long way. And I'm sure added to everything else, it's actually going to be interesting to see how they put it all together.
After 12 hours a day, tomorrow, my job continues. It takes 6 days just for me to raise the funds to make one day happen.
The hub. It is what you think it is, the central point of operation. A large warehouse space that allows storing everything from non-perishable food, clothing, and beverages. It also features a sizable kitchen, and it's home to the main office. How do they pay for it all? Through the help of local partners and organizations. And so it is no surprise that the word hub has a vastly different meaning to Jessica and Mike. Help us bless.
Lauren, you want to come grab some stuff, hun? I got to check on Ashley.
Is it easy working with your mom? Does she get involved in it? Does she say, no, Ashley, listen, you need to do this? And
she's not picky about the cooking. She totally trusts me on the cooking. It's the cleaning. It's the cleaning. Yep.
With a gross profit of around $37 billion annually, this corporation is stepping up to the plate. Next stop is Pepsi.
You don't get organizations like this without the support of corporations. It's really hard to run.
Helping to negotiate a lot of, the bigger agreements with corporations, where sometimes you get into some challenging conversations, but at the end of the day, the sustainability of the work that they're doing absolutely depends on the support that the community can bring to them from an in-kind donation standpoint and also from a financial standpoint.
Yeah, right here, this is all what we're giving them.
Only a few hours left until the gates under the I-90 overpass in downtown Spokane open.
It's not going to unload the same way, unfortunately.
It's not as easy, right?
Yeah, we have to do it all by hand.
The work is not yet done. Without the help of volunteers, this mission will be next to impossible.
I coordinate so many volunteer opportunities for Numerica and our employees, and it's rare that we have a relationship with a nonprofit that is as in demand as our relationship with Blessings Under the Bridge. I'll send an email out that says, hey, we're going out to feed with Blessings, and within an hour, my entire volunteer group is filled with a wait list.
I am getting ready to head down to our event. My good buddy Bernie, give him a ride down there with me. Get ready to get set up.
Oh my gosh, let's do this! We are expecting tonight to serve between 300 and 400 people. Every week, there's another blessing that, whether it's me or a volunteer or a leader or somebody experiences, or somebody that we serve under the bridge. The city just tore down the fence, and so now we are working to get a new fence. Without the fence, tonight we will be making our own fence tonight.
The line is forming, and around 400 homeless Spokaneites are eagerly waiting to be let in. The smell of garlic bread, roasted sun-dried tomatoes, stuffed chicken, and garlic mashed potatoes are slowly starting to fill the noisy and cool air under the bridge.
Where can I make myself useful today?
Where do you want to serve?
I don't care. I'll serve anything.
I'd love for you to be in hospitality. It would be my honor.
Okay.
You get to be up close with these people, and then if you want to switch it up a little bit, we'll put you somewhere else.
Sure, no, hospitality is fine with me.
Awesome.
Hospitality. I'm the host with the most.
The atmosphere is fun, cool, and positive. But what strikes me the most is the vastly diverse population of people coming to the event. A friend of mine once told me, an airplane does not crash because of a single mistake. It takes a series of oversights that can lead to a catastrophe. Socio-economic background, mental health, education, or the lack thereof are just some of the ingredients that can, mixed with a heap of bad luck, lead to a life on the streets. Mike and Jessica probably understand this concept better than anyone I've come across, and their organization is making a difference. Under a bridge, every Wednesday, all year long.
Time now for Allstate's They Say.
Hi, my name is Ariana Johnson. They say I'm another statistic in Chicago, but I say I'm a powerful young black lady ready to make a change in Chicago. Ready to make a change in Chicago. The program that I participate in is called McFA Challenge. And McFA Challenge is basically an organization that allows youth, such as myself, to explore many different ways they can tackle issues that they care about within their community, voice their opinions. Don't be afraid to use your voice, because your voice matters. One of these days you're going to come across somebody that finally hears what you're saying, and that's going to be a building block for you. You may be that one piece of sunshine that encourages them to stand up to that bully and tell them, don't bully that kid, or don't bully me, you know. One piece of advice that I will give to someone my age is challenge your limits. Don't limit your challenges. Of course you're gonna have downfalls, but who says that the downfalls you face have to define you?
Spokane, a beautiful mid-sized city in Washington state. But like all cities, it has its challenges. What's different and remarkable is how local organizations here have tried to address those challenges and started to make a big difference. A Spokane hometown hero, a World Series champ, driven by more than just a ballgame win, has founded an organization that is shining light on the dark world of sex trafficking along with feeding the hungry. My journey on this rainy yet hopeful day takes me to Northwood Middle School, home to almost 900 Huskies. It is here where young students are collectively creating so-called freedom bags. It is also where I'm meeting Generation Alive CEO Marty Gonzalez.
We want kids not to just see a need and feel bad about it, but what do you do about it? Because I believe the more you exercise that compassion muscle, the more it grows, the more it becomes part of who you are as a human being.
The subject is heavy, the story is horrifying and almost unimaginable. It has my attention. It has everyone's attention.
He tied me to a chair in the hotel room. He took my ID, my social security card, my debit cards, my cell phone, everything I had. And he told me if I left that he knew my address and that he would go and he would find me, he would hurt my family. Okay. And he put me out on the street and told me not to come back till I had money.
Driven by the notion that we are all a product of our environment, Generation Alive exposes the art of compassion to the community at a very early age.
What is compassion? Yeah?
Sympathy plus action.
Sympathy plus action. You guys are pros now.
Empowering kids to see the issue and then make an impact. These freedom bags contain basic necessities that bring a sense of comfort, care, and much needed love to the victims.
The philanthropy and the service angle and having the kids really own it from beginning to end is what we make a change in their hearts. They start to understand they're empowered to create a change at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old that we're hoping they will carry for the rest of their lives.
I knew a guy who was involved in human trafficking, and I sort of wanted to do this to sort of help him and all the other victims.
Once again, it is important to notice that local businesses and organizations get involved and offer their support, doing their part raising awareness and lending a helping hand.
It's part of our core purpose. Our mission as an organization is to enhance lives, fulfill dreams, and build communities, all in the name of supporting our members. Building a better community for our members to live in, giving them opportunities to give back to their communities is really important.
You've been here all day. We've been at this school. New America supports an organization like this. Have you ever seen this program before?
I haven't seen the Freedom Bag component of Generation Alive's programs. I've seen their meal packing, and so it was really exciting for New America to be here today to see this element of what Generation Alive does.
Why is New America so invested in organizations like this?
Well, New America really believes in enhancing lives, fulfilling dreams, and building communities, and we do that through charitable giving.
So what happens to them once they are out of those facilities? Let's say you cannot find their parents, you don't know. What happens to these kids?
That's where our partners really come into play. You know, we provide them with these bags that are given to the victims, and they help them with placement, because often it's not just placement, it's therapy, it's counseling.
Yeah, right.
It's everything that comes along with that.
To meet one of the partners, I head over to Generation Alive's headquarters.
Mabel, nice meeting you.
How you doing? Bags have been transported here and are exchanging hands with Mabel Elsom of Lutheran Community Services.
My role really is to provide support, advocacy, resources, connect them with services. When they come to me, you know, I'm meeting them at their worst, when they are desperate. And so for me, I hear what they have to say. And so normally they're like, I have nothing with me. How can you help me? And so from there, I figure out what is that they want to do. Do they want to stay in this area? Do we have housing in this area? Do they need to go somewhere else? And if they don't have the basic necessities that they need, having just some of the items that they need in here.
Former San Francisco Giant pitcher and Generation Alive founder Jeremy Affeldt has invited me to the Flying Goat. And what better way to get a meaningful conversation flowing than over some good gourmet pizza?
I hated the game of baseball. Hated it. I was
Why?
losing because I lost all the time in Kansas City. I was hurt a lot because I woke up every morning with the same deal. I'm going to go to the ballpark at 2 o'clock today. And when I come in to pitch at some point in the game, I'm either going to get cheered or booed, and then I'm going to go home, and then day starts over again with the same exact scenario. And I was this guy that, one, was scared because I didn't know who I was. I'm lonely because I can't tell anybody that I don't like playing Major League Baseball. There's no one gonna be like, oh, Jeremy, we feel super bad for you. I didn't know my path. I didn't have a why. I was walking down the street of Denver one morning, and I wanted a coffee. And I was having these thoughts, and I was frustrated. I see this girl at Rite Aid. I see her, and she's got a split lip, black eye, torn clothes. I see her eating a dry cup of noodles. You want something to eat? I just want to know if you want something to eat. She's like, please. So I bought it, took it out there, and I handed her, and she ripped it from me. And she looked at me and said, thank you. When she said thank you, it wasn't a thank you for the food. I think it was a thank you for basically saying, thank you for letting me know I exist. And it's like our realities met, because I saw this girl that's scared, lonely, doesn't know who she is, and doesn't know who she can talk to. And I'm sitting here with nice clothes. I live in a great hotel room. I work at a cathedral of a ballpark.
And you have the same issues.
Same exact issue. And I'm like, I needed someone to say I exist. That encounter that day changed my entire career. You flip over my baseball card and you look at my statistics from 2002 to 2006, and then look at my statistics after 2006 to basically 2014, completely different. Because I had a reason to play the game. I had a why. And I said, I want my organization to bring impact to a community, that when it sees the pains that poverty creates in a community, I want to help alleviate those pains by being simply compassionate. That unconditional love is what this city, country, world needs. Someone that gets together and says, I want to love you simply because you are a human being, and I have to help because it is part of my humanity to say, you know, I achieved my dream. I achieved my dream, and now I want to help you achieve yours, because that's what we're supposed to do.
Correct.
And that's why I started Generation Alive, and that's what we do.
Let's make no mistake about it. Sex trafficking is modern-day slavery and seems to have taken its course relatively unnoticed here in the United States. It deserves much more attention, and Jeremy and his organization are contributing possibly in the most effective of ways by teaching the next generation the fundamentals on what it means to pay it forward. As the 13th century Persian giant of poetry, Saadi, once wrote, "Human beings are members of a whole, in creation of one essence and soul. If one member is afflicted with pain, other members uneasy will remain. If you've no sympathy for human pain, the name of human you cannot retain."